comfortable?
No, it doesn't. As I said, I think, if anything, it's the endorsement of the fact that people look at the world at the moment and realize that a one-size-fits-all model around university or college is completely insufficient and actually really unfair. And we've all got to make sure that the best jobs of the next decade don't simply go to all the same people as the best jobs of the last decade. Otherwise, we're building up big social problems. We're going to impact on productivity even more. And we're not going to end up with a fair or equal society. So it doesn't benefit employers, it doesn't benefit individuals, it doesn't benefit society more widely. And people have seen in what we're doing at Multiverse a chance to make this a centerpiece of that new movement around building an alternative to university through apprenticeships.
Who do you think you're competing with? Is there much of a competitive landscape out there?
There are lots of other organizations delivering apprenticeships, many on a much smaller scale. I think I often look at our biggest competition as traditional colleges and universities, because for a long time, they've been able to act as the gatekeepers of a lot of the best jobs in the labor market with very little pushback or challenge, despite the fact there's no real correlation between academics and job performance. So I think for us, it's often about showing actually how this route can be an even better way to help people transition fairly from full-time education into full-time employment, and then crucially continue to develop them, because people are going to be in the workforce now for at least 50 years. Everyone's going to have to train and retrain multiple times. And a shot of learning at the start of your career through an academic institution is just completely insufficient for what's going to be needed.
And how about you personally? Obviously, there are all sorts of reports this morning about the value of your stake in the business following this latest funding round. I mean, I guess you've been in the public eye all your life, really, to an extent. Does it feel like there's added pressure on you personally?
I don't think so. And look, it's something, as you said, I've dealt with a lot of that throughout my life. It's not something I pay a huge amount of attention to. The thing I always emphasize is the money hasn't gone to me, it's gone to Multiverse. And we have an incredible team of people and leaders who are making what we're doing happen on a daily basis. So it is about much more than me.
And I think you've got 600 employees right now. Where do you think that will be this time next year?
Probably come close to doubling that. We're hiring in just about every area, particularly into our tech and product teams, but also we're hiring coaches, we're hiring people into our community team, we're hiring people to work with employers on implementing and embedding programs. So we're continuing to grow.
All right, Ewan Blair, good to talk to you this morning. Thanks very much indeed.
Thanks, Ian. Take care.
Now, its ingredients are found in some of the world's most popular ice creams, yoghurts, mousses, soups, sauces and dressings. Today, the FTSE 250 ingredients specialist Taden Lyle reported pre-tax profits of £145 million for the year to the end of March. That is up 14% on the previous 12 months. Well, joining me now is Nick Hampton. He's the chief executive of Taden Lyle. Nick, welcome to you. I mean, a lot of your products are used making corn. I wonder how you're negotiating the post-Ukraine war situation.
Well, we're navigating it well so far, Ian, and good morning. So we're fortunate that we don't source any corn out of Ukraine. All of our corn in Europe comes from further south. I mean, it's clearly creating some inflationary pressures on the business and some supply chain challenges, but we're navigating those. And as we did last year, we're very focused on productivity. You know, we delivered our $150 million productivity program 2 years advance of target last year. Clearly, cost discipline is important. And where necessary, we're passing through pricing to customers so that we can maintain the balance of profitability in the business so we can invest for the future.
You've kind of preempted my next question. I wondered more broadly what kind of input inflation you're seeing and the ease with which you can pass that on.
I mean, look, it's never easy, but when we look at our business, whilst the functionality of our products is really important to our customers, you know, it's helping make healthy food tastier and tasty food healthier, the actual cost of those ingredients is a relatively low proportion of the cost the consumer pays. So passing pricing through when you're a relatively small part and an important small part of the cost, but an important part of the functionality of the product is a little bit easier. You have to do it in a balanced way. And so far, we've managed that successfully. I mean, we saw significant inflation last year, but significant revenue growth as well. And as you said, good growth and profitability.
So do you think cost inflation has peaked for you yet?
We're not assuming that. I mean, we're assuming that the inflationary environment is going to continue for a while. I mean, clearly we've got a crop season coming up and a planting season coming up that's going to be disturbed by the terrible events in Ukraine. So we're planning for at least inflation for the near term, and beyond that, we'll just have to wait and see.
Now, since we last spoke, you've done a couple of interesting acquisitions. You bought a plant-based protein business, and then today you bought a Chinese dairy fibre business. What's the logic behind those acquisitions?
So, I mean, clearly, we're trying to position ourselves where growth is in food and beverage. And that means being where people are, China, nearly 20% of the world's population, and being in ingredients that are where consumers are going. So if you think about in China, dietary fiber is a big part of the future for consumers as they realize the importance of fiber for gut health. China is really important for our growth, as I said, because of the significance of the population there. So it's right in the center of where we want to be. And we're really excited about completing that deal today. And then you think about plant-based as a trend. We're intrigued by the idea of plant-based proteins working with the rest of our portfolio to help us solve for our customers' needs. So it's not just about the protein itself, it's about formulating with our other ingredients to provide customer solutions that really work for consumers.
Now, you've also completed the sale of a controlling stake in your primary products business in the US. We've talked about that on this programme in the past. Is the eventual aim there to offload that entirely?
I think over time, it's likely that our interest will decline. In the meantime, obviously, we're getting a dividend stream out of that business. And as a result of the sale, we've managed to give back to our shareholders $500 million in a special dividend. So it was a great deal for the business, our shareholders. And of course, it repositions the new Tate & Lyle as a really growth-focused business focused on where food is going. So we're really excited about completing that complex deal through the pandemic.
Absolutely. I mean, you have overseen really a fundamental reshaping of the business. I just wonder what you feel there is left to do. Are there more acquisitions on the way?
Look, we've demonstrated the ability to do acquisitions that really support the business. The stevia business we bought 2 years ago doubled in size last year. The balance sheet is incredibly strong after the proceeds we received from the divestment of primary products. And clearly, more acquisitions like the one we've just announced today will only help accelerate our growth. But look, fundamentally, we've repositioned the business in the growth space of food and beverage. So the organic growth potential is huge as well.
And you've also, I mean, it's worth pointing out, you do spend an awful lot of money each year on research and development. What kind of products are you coming up with there that excite you the most?
So we're really excited about the natural sweetener products we're coming up with. So they take time to bring to market, but allulose, as an example, is growing very well in the US. So we've got a great portfolio of sweeteners. Our clean label starches are doing very well. It's really important to put mouthfeel back into products when you take sugar out. And then our fiber portfolio. So, as I said, dietary fiber is really important, hence the acquisition in China. But we already had a very strong fibers business internally, and growing that has been very successful in the last year. So new products last year grew 35%. So that's a significant advance.
And how do you gauge the mood of your customers right now, generally, Nick?
Well, they're very focused on security of supply, because supply chains are really challenging at the moment, and really looking for partners to help them serve consumers with food and beverage, given all the challenges of supply chain across the world. And obviously, like us, they're very focused on the inflationary environment, because passing through pricing to consumers is increasingly challenging as inflation continues to bite.
All right, Nick, I know results day is always busy. We do appreciate you sparing us a bit of time today. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you, Ian.
Now, as Nick was just saying, the food and drink industry is one of the UK's most important export earners and potentially a big winner from any post-Brexit free trade deal signed by the government. Well, accordingly, the Food and Drink Federation, the industry body, has today published a trade and investment strategy that it hopes will maximise trade opportunities. Joining me now is Karen Betts, the Chief Executive of the Food and Drink Federation. Karen, good morning to you. Why did you feel the need to do this? Do you feel the government is not doing enough to promote the industry's interests?
Morning, Ian. I think there are two key reasons why we've published our trade and investment strategy today. The first is that trade, as you just heard from Nick, really, that trade is central to food production in the UK. The food manufacturing industry both imports and exports a great deal. And the trade policy that we inherited from the EU was designed for 28 countries. So, absolutely feels right now that we make sure that we have a new and refreshed trade policy that works very much for our sector in the UK, is tailored to our sector's needs, and to the broader UK economy. And to your point about, is the UK government doing enough? The UK government has done a lot in terms of consulting the industry on the trade deals negotiated so far, but we still think there's more that they could do to put food and drink imports and exports at the heart of UK trade policy. They've promised to do that, and we really want them to do it because we think there are real things to be gained for the industry. I mean, you will know that exports tend to drive productivity, competitiveness and growth, and at a time of soaring inflation, that's really important.
I'm really interested, though, that you have imports at the heart of the strategy as well as exports.
Yeah, I mean, imports are really important to the industry, and we mustn't lose sight of that. We have to recognise that imports, they complement domestic production, they increase consumer choice, and they do play a role in our overall food security. There are quite a lot of products that the UK can't or doesn't produce, quite a lot of fresh fruit and vegetables we import, obviously coffee, spices, vegetable oils, cocoa, so quite a lot of the products that go into food production in the UK are imported. Obviously, we are also massive consumers of UK agriculture, and our industry is a big supporter of the UK agricultural industry, but we must accept that there has to be a balance between imports and exports.
Now, you've made quite clear that you want to tie trade deals to high ethical standards. Potentially, though, doesn't that jeopardise the UK's food security?
I don't think so. I mean, I think the conversation about standards has to be about balance. I mean, obviously, high standards are really important to the reputation of our sector and really important to UK consumers. So it's critical that high standards are at the heart of our trade policy. And we think that trade policy can help drive higher standards in some of our trading partners. They can help support some of the countries with which we want to trade, really encourage their own companies domestically to improve labour standards, environmental standards, animal welfare standards. And actually high standards in our trading partners supports our exports. So it creates a level playing field for British companies that are exporting into markets overseas where they have had to produce to high standards in the UK. We want those standards to be upheld by our trading partners too.
Now, obviously, food and drink is a key component of trade between Great Britain and Northern Ireland. I just wonder what your reflections are on the government's proposals to potentially tear up the Northern Ireland Protocol.
I think Northern Ireland is, it's a really tricky problem at the moment, and it is difficult for many of our companies to navigate the complexity of the protocol and the other arrangements for Northern Ireland. I mean, I think what everybody in our industry would say is we must keep open, constructive channels of communication between the European Union and the UK government if we are going to solve this in a pragmatic way. We think there are lots of pragmatic and technical solutions to some of the issues that the sector is facing in Northern Ireland, and we are encouraging both governments to look at those.
All right, Karen, I think last time we spoke to you, you were still in charge of the Scotch Whisky Association, so good to talk to you and your new guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, still to come here on Ian King Live. We'll have a look at how global markets are doing this Thursday morning. Don't go away.
I think in the last 10 years, we've begun to see tendrils of hope in the oceans. We've seen some examples of where determined people have got it right. We've had good examples of fish management. We've got the bluefin tuna coming back in the western approaches off the west of Scotland, as far north as Norway. And we've seen the creation of enormous marine protected areas in the blue belt around the British overseas territories. In UK and EU waters, we're currently taking 2/3 of the fish above scientific recommendations, so they're never going to recover. And we need fish to recover, and whales to recover, and the forests of the sea on the seabed to recover, to soak up more carbon from the atmosphere, to help the sea help us mitigate climate change. Whales create this fantastic pump that puts carbon in the bottom of the sea. They feed at the top, poo at the bottom, and they create this whale pump. So I don't think that people are factoring in whaling into the climate change debate, but I think it definitely needs to be there, as does overfishing. There are enormous populations of fish as yet unexploited, which live deep in the sea and which come up at night and feed and then go down again. And again, another a fish pump rather than a whale pump, and they are putting carbon into the depths of the sea. And if we overexploit them, we are really stopping the sea from doing what it should be doing, because it's the biggest carbon sink on Earth.
Well, after yesterday's big rise in prices on the back of China reopening more of its cities, the oil price has come off the boil slightly this morning. Well, it had done. It's actually up right now. Barrel of Brent crude currently changing hands at $123.79 a barrel. That is up a fifth of 1%. On the equity markets, after last night's sell-off on Wall Street, equity markets across most of the Asia-Pacific region sold off overnight. The Nikkei in Tokyo more or less unchanged there, but elsewhere there were declines in Hong Kong, Shanghai, Mumbai and in Sydney. Well, in Europe, stocks have also traded to the downside so far this morning. Here's the current picture. All of the main indices down by between a fifth and a quarter of and half of 1% there right now. Here in London, FTSE 100 is also in negative territory, currently trading off a third of 1% lower. The engineering group Melrose is leading blue chip gainers for a second consecutive day. That is amid excitement over its share buyback. There you go, Melrose up some 4% right now. A lot of blue chips are automatically trading lower this morning because they've gone ex-dividend. In other words, they're trading without rights to the latest payout for the first time. They include WPP, J. Sainsbury and Associated British Foods. There they all are. Don't panic, shareholders in those companies. That is only because they've gone ex-dividend today. Outside the FTSE, the outsourcing specialist Mighty is up by some 6% on a trading update. Meanwhile, the healthcare group Mediclinic, you got a glimpse of that one earlier on. The share's up by some 3% after it rejected a takeover approach. Meanwhile, the pub operator Fuller Smith & Turner, its shares are ahead by 1.75% following a return to the black. But the spread betting firm CMC Markets is down by 11% following a 59% fall in full-year pre-tax profits. Meanwhile, on the foreign exchange markets, as you can see, the pound is currently a fifth of 1% lower against the US dollar and around a sixth of 1% against the euro. The euro itself, by the way, I should say, largely unchanged right now against the dollar ahead of today's ECB policy meeting. Well, with me now is the investment manager at Brewin Dolphin, Rob Bergman. Rob, welcome to you. What have you made of what's going on in China? I mean, it feels as though things gradually appear to be getting back to a bit of normality.
Yeah, they have announced some shutdowns again in Shanghai overnight, but in their desperate attempt to try and clamp down on clothes.
SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of digging the hole of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
The best radio show.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie, and it is Starr Radio UK and the Morning Show.
UK.
I cannot hear you say, holy. Lord, you are holy tonight. Lord, you're holy. Who say he's righteous, righteous.
This is Starr Radio UK. In your car,
At work.
at home,
On your smartphone.
You are listening to Starr Radio UK.
Lord, you're so righteous, you are. Lord, you're right. That's why I say you're awesome, and you're awesome. Say, come on, lift up your hands wherever you are, and say, declare that He's an awesome God. Lord, you're awesome. Put a smile on it and say, He's awesome. Say, my God is awesome, Lord. Lord, you're awesome. And what will we do tonight? Say,
Okay, he's holy, he's awesome, he's wonderful, he's faithful, he's great. I took over my God. No, let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. For me being alive, for you being alive, I know it takes the power of a mighty God to do that. Maybe you are very good. Maybe you have all the security apparatus in place protecting you. But if you're still alive, listening to us and hearing us this morning, it took somebody to keep you alive. Believe it or not. But I'm so grateful. And I say, God, I thank you for this opportunity to live life. And I say it all the time. I live it to the fullest. What about you? So once again, welcome to the program. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to all our lovely listeners across the globe. Those of you on other planets as well, we salute you all. Especially good morning goes to the one and only Mr. Frank Davies working behind the scenes, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, Kojo D, and our able producer, Mr. Francis Guy, working behind the scenes as well. Massive good morning to you all, gentlemen. To our presenters on Starr Radio, you guys salute you. Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin, massive good morning to you. Felix on the way in Aberdeen. Bro, good morning. I hope you're doing well. And let me say good morning to our big bros. Mr. Ishmael Orkine, wherever you are, good morning to you. I hope you're doing very well. Mr. Francis Abedi, good morning. To every one of you who, whether on the African continent or in the US or wherever you are listening to us from, who are tuned in this morning to watch or listen to us, we want to salute each and every one of you. Salute of you in Nigeria, in South Africa, Uganda, Gambia, Liberia. Oh, we salute each and every one of you. Now, if you are listening to us via our apps, go to the App Store. If you've not done so, download it. It is for free. Whether it's iOS or Android, yeah, it's compatible. Having any challenge, get in touch with us. But on that platform, you are able to share your take and make any comments that you want to do or you want to make. So feel free and get in touch with us. Today is the 9th day of June, the year 2022. The time now 10:43 from the hearts of London.
there's something about this song that turns me on. When I was in school,
I remain yours sincerely, the one and only
Archie on Starr Radio. Nobody does it better.
So from now till 1 o'clock, I'm going to be your captain, bringing you all the news that you need to know. If it's making the headlines, from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar, making the headlines, why not? I'll be bringing it your way. So once again, welcome to the show. For those of you who have just tuned in for the first time listening to us on Starr Radio UK Morning Show or Thursday edition, this is how the program goes on Thursdays. I'll bring you the quotes for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update as well. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, known as Global Trotting. Then after that, 11 o'clock, we'll bring you updates from Nigeria. We'll continue from there. Move on to other parts of the world to look at some of the stories making the rounds from the UK front as well. However, at 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. But before then, if you want to do so, let's go to our Facebook page, post your comments there, and let us know what you think. I promise you, I'm going to acknowledge you. If there's some news going on in your area you want us to disseminate, feel free to post it there, and I promise you I'm going to touch on it. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. Now at 1 o'clock, the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. So in the gist, that's what's going to be happening today. Welcome to the show. Wow, so let's crack on. 10:45. To succeed by chance implies that we succeed unexpectedly. So you have to plan. The good book says what? Commit your ways into the hands of the Lord, and He will direct your path. Okay, those of you who believe in it, take it and use it. Those who don't, that is up to you. All right then. Let's move on to the weather front. What is happening on the weather front when it comes to the UK? You know, it will be interesting for me to know what is happening in your area where you are listening to me from. One time I was doing the program, and then I had somebody sent me a message. One of our listeners in was it in the United Arab Emirates, telling us about what the weather is like there. And I was like, whoa, why it was cold and snowy here. The person was giving me details of where he was. So you can also do that as well. But this is how the weather is going to be for you if you are in London and the southeast of England today. A sunshine will continue into the afternoon, but cloud will begin to move in from the west towards the mid-afternoon. This evening will be rather cloudy with some patchy light rain or drizzle for a time. It will then be dry overnight with a mix of clear spells and a patchy cloud cover. Now let's look at the temperature. The temperature is going to be 20 degrees and the lower is going to be 15 degrees. Pollen level is going to be high, UV level moderate, and pollution low. Sunset 21:15 and sunrise for tomorrow morning is going to be 04:44 hours. That brings us to the end of the weather forecast. Playing in the background, something from the one and only Denzel Prempe. It says Koinonia. Not Koinonia. I've been hearing it, you know. What's the meaning of Koinonia? All right then. Okay, so I'm going to take a break, and once we come back, I'll be taking you straight to the travel update. Stay tuned. Don't you go away. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road.
This is Radio.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads. I will keep you navigated. I promise. I'm on the Starr Radio UK Travel Update. We're away every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:48. So what is happening on the travels this morning? A few incidents here and there on the underground. Well, I can tell you emphatically that our central line has got severe delays. So severe delays due to an earlier customer incident. Valid tickets will be accepted on London buses and Greater Anglia services. Now on the district line as well, severe delays due to a signal failure at Barking, and customers are advised to take the first train and change where necessary. Now tickets are being accepted on London buses C2C, Southwestern Railway, and Elizabeth line between Sheffield, Liverpool Street, and Paddington, Ealing Broadway as well. Now when it comes to the Hammersmith and City line as well, no service between Liverpool Street and Barking due to a signal failure at Barking. Severe delays on the rest of the line. If you can avoid it, as I say all the time, do your best to avoid it. If not, if you are stuck in there, continue to listen to us. Once and when there are any changes, I promise you one thing, I'll bring it to the fore. But keep your eyes on the roads. Now, that aside, all the underground lines are in good service. London Overground, DLR, London Tram Link, a good service there as well. And moving on straight to the major roads in London. Now, A12, A4, Central London Red routes have all got closures. You got it. But keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I will keep you navigated. Now, moving on to the river bars this morning. Apart from the Woolwich Ferry, that has got a special service. All the others have got good service there as well. But this is Starr Radio UK, the travel update that comes to you every weekday from 10:40. 10:50 now, the final segment of the travel update, and that's the National Rail. And on the National Rail this morning, Chiltern Railways have got minor delays. That aside, all the others, good service. You got it. On that note, let me say it once again, as I always do. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. A bit of a commercial there for you. Okay, now it's time for us to go global trotting. Yes, what is happening when it comes to all the stories that is making the rounds across the globe? Well, in Nigeria, list of likely contenders to consider as Tinubu's running mate. Who are they? Now, Peter Obi will be Atiko's running mate. PDP spokesperson has said it, and Tinubu didn't win APC presidential ticket with clean hands. Yaya Bello. Yes? So the pointing fingers have started now. Dino Melaye, Mox Okorocha, Tunde Bakari, others nicknames Yaya Bello. Okay, and Macaroni sends deep message to youth over Tinubu's win at APC presidential election. This and a lot more we're going to be looking at when it comes to Nigeria in the next few moments. Okay, but in other parts of the world as well, when it comes to the African news, now ECOWAS says it regrets Junta's 24-man transition decision. What are they talking about there? What do they want? Well, people cannot just say that, well, we and the two a coup d'etat and then we've achieved the government, but what we intended achieving, we've not been able. You think that, I mean, even government who have voted into power come in and they'll be there for 4 years, the first term, second term, they've not been able to do whatever promises that, bring to pass whatever promises that they made to voters before coming on. So what do you think? Well. So, what is going to happen today? We're going to be looking at what the statement from the ECOWAS is saying. Okay, it is all Starr Radio UK. It is all your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, now let's move on to some other stories making the rounds on the African continent. Yes, in Ghana, I'm very sorry, father of Achimota, Rasta student, apologizes for accusing son of assault. Well, you know, when people are looking for you and then somebody from your own home, especially this time around, your dad come to accuse you of something of the sort, then you are finished, you know, you are finished from the word go kaput. Yeah, well, okay. Now, 5 cases of monkeypox are confirmed in Ghana as well. The advisory role of Council of State is redundant, Professor Ajimendia says. So do you think that we still need the Council of State? It's like, let's call it the House of Lords, okay? Who are there and they do work. They do work. No, they don't have the power like the House of Commons that. But when things are brought to them, they can just chuck it back and say, "I know." They think that is not good enough, and then it forces the hands of the Houses of Commons or MPs to sit up and relook at the whole thing. So what do you think is going to happen there? Well, in Ghana? Okay, and then Zambrana clash treat alleged soldiers as terrorists. They talked about that yesterday. That story continues. But let's see some of the other stories making the round. Occupy Ghana threatens to sue Auditor General over disallowances surcharges. Well, what will come out of that? We will see. Okay, Ekwapim North Constituency Conference appoints interim executives. Well, Ekwapim North, interesting. We will be bringing you more on those stories as well. Mahama is a better leader than Akufo-Addo, Harunata says. What is assessment? What is making him draw that conclusion? Well, as the former president John Ejikun Kufuor they say at the time during his campaign to be the president, he said, do an introspection of your own personal economy and then vote accordingly. Is that what Harunata is doing, or assessing and saying that Mahama is better off than Akufo-Addo? Okay, we'll be looking into all that as the time gives us this morning. Now moving on to some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world, bringing the time now to 2 minutes to 11. Now, abuse, assault, profit, children's home staff speaks out. Multiple whistleblowers, current and former staff says children were failed. And then children of today should never be able to smoke. Now, review suggests raising age of sales by 1 every year until no one can buy tobacco products. Now, interestingly, when it comes to Africa, it's on the rise. You know, people are just smoking left, right, center, middle, whichever you want to call it. But what do you think? U.S. House passes gun bill doomed to fail in Senate. The measures, including banning sales of semi-automatic weapons to under 21s, but they look set to be rejected when it comes to the Senate. You know, interestingly, I don't pray that anything of the sort will happen to anybody, but I really hope that those who are standing against that, maybe a member of their family, maybe their children, maybe themselves, will face something with the sword, and then they will come to the realization that there should be some restrictions there. What do you think? It is All Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now get ready for more storm power cuts. Energy firms are told. Well, look at the weather phenomenon at the moment. That's what the regulators are saying. Now, not let up in battle for key eastern Ukraine city. No, let up in battle for key. Street fighting rages in Severodonetsk as Russia used heavy artillery to try to break through. And then teacher dead and people hurt as car hit Berlin crowd. Now evidence suggests that the driver was mentally ill person running amok, a regional official has said. A Mexico mega church leader jailed for child sex abuse. Nation Joaquin Garcia pleaded guilty last week to sexually abusing girls from his congregation. Okay, Uvalde survivor covered herself in a friend's blood and played dead or pretended dead until the assailant was arrested. Now, Thailand legalizes cannabis growing and trade. Now, Thais can now grow cannabis for commerce, but the rules still ban recreational use. Okay, now, and the final story before we take a break, New Zealand plan to tax cow and sheep herbs. Now, it will make it the first country to charge farmers for the methane emission from their animals. You know what they said? Cows, they emit a lot. Cattle. So now if they are charging you per that is like driving a car. That is what? Oh my goodness. Well, so what do they want? So they want people to stop farming or what? Okay. Well, this is a lot more we're going to be looking at in the next few moments. But stay tuned, don't you go away. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And it is the Thursday edition of the morning show. Let me say good morning to Dave West. Yes, it will be your birthday tomorrow. Yes, we'll do our best not to forget and wish you all the best. But let me wish you that in advance. I remember my dad, he normally will wish me, will call me and wish me happy birthday before my birthday. He says that he wants to beat everybody to it. Okay? Yes. All right then. So now let's now take a musical break, and once we come back, we'll go to the stories that's making the rounds in Nigeria. Stay tuned. Don't you go away. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Something from Carl Clote and Exhaust, and it says Boom Keke. Okay, enjoy.
What's wrong with that? Hey. Come on, everybody. Mini obia chisa mwa Yesu e unde mido Senyawa kameye no mitie. Separated from your love, no way I can survive. You are the one I love. No one in the obedience. Everybody. Oh, no, no. Separated from your love, no way I can survive. You are the one I love. One more time, come on. The one I love.
UK.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you help me work on my own brother? Yeah, we don't think they're coming in the who and our me. Yes, you're doing him and not. Mama, what you was some and our spirit. A town for not to jump the rope and so up him. Your love don't be fake, oh, now me, you feel me, fair film. Oh, me, to me, I'm dead down, but you know why I'm a cuckoo. Your love don't be fake, oh, now me, you feel me, fair film. Oh, me, to me, I'm dead down, but you know why I'm a cuckoo. Come on.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
Starr Radio. Radio for the people. Live.
Your love no be fake, oh, now me you feel me fair, oh, me to me I'm dead down, but you know what? Come on.
Best music.
Come on, say.
So, Boom Keke by Kaklote and the Zoss. Hope that you enjoyed our tune. I'm going to be bringing you more from him during the course of the program, but wherever you are, for now, it is time for us to take a quick commercial break. And then we bring you updates from Nigeria, behind the scenes, information or news that Miss Olayomi has forwarded to me. But wherever you are, I beseech you, brethren, by the mercies of God, to share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, so we'll be back in a nippy. So just stay tuned. Don't you go away. It's just Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 12 minutes past 11, and it is the Thursday edition of the morning show. It's now time for updates from Nigeria. As I said, Mr. Olayomi Koiki is working behind the scenes today, and therefore I'm just going to be making sure that all the news that is giving me, I'll be able to bring your way. Okay, well, Tinubu has won the presidential ticket for his party. That is the APC. Okay. This morning I was monitoring some stories, and some people were of the view that, look, why is it that African leaders who want to, we have these old folks who still want to they are as old as us, and then they still want to be there to reign, and while there are younger people who can do the work very well. I remember Tinubu back in the day where he was hospitalized, he was here in the UK for treatment, or a few things that was going on with him. I don't know about his age, he would decide to just take a leave and then go and chill out and spend his money or his wealth or whatever he's accrued. However, no, they think that he's got more within him to go on. But we'll be looking more into that, because when it comes to 2023, if that election, should that election take place, who do you think will come out more popular? Tinubu, or the PDP candidate, or the SDP candidate, or who? We'll be looking into all the chances of the various presidential or the parties that will be involved in that election. And again, the third force. Who are the third force now? We'll be looking into that as well. So wherever you are, don't type that down. But information coming through says the just concluded National Convention of All Progressive Congress, which produced former Governor of Lagos State, Bola Tinubu, as the party's flag bearer for the 2023 presidential election, was allegedly compromised. Allegedly. Now, Governor of Kogi State, Yaya Bello, alleged this through his presidential campaign organization in a statement released hours after the declaration of Tinubu as the winner of the APC presidential primaries yesterday. The information coming through to us says that the Governor Bello garnered only 47 votes at the end of the APC primary election in Abuja on Wednesday. He came fifth behind Senate President Ahmed Lawan, who pulled a total of 152 votes. Now, Tinubu, however, swept the polls with massive 1,271 votes to emerge as the party's candidate. Now, reacting to the emergence of Senator Tinubu as the candidate of the APC, the Kogi State Governor's campaign team argued that Yaya Bello remains the hero of the oppressed. Now, in a statement issued by the group's director, media publicity, Yemi Kolapo, he said the process through which Tinubu emerged as the party's presidential candidate was highly compromised and crooked. Now, the statement reads, Partly, the All Progressive Congress presidential primary elections have come and gone. The process was largely peaceful but highly compromised. Now it goes on further to say, in the process, one leader stands out according to the majority of Nigerians. That leader, I say with all sense of fairness, is Governor Yahya Bello of the Kogi State. He is a hero of this process and has made his point loud and clear to the admiration of even his worst enemies. Now, if there was a clear desperate gang up by northern governors and the leader of a party against one person, and that person never for once disappointed his teaming supporters, but rather fought to the very end, not minding the crooked process, then he should be celebrated by the constituency he represents. That is the youth. That is information that is coming from there. So some are reckoning that Yahya Bello should have been the one. He should have been the one. But what do you think about all that? What do you think about all that? It is coming your way from Star Radio UK. Updates from Nigeria. Tinubu voted as the APC flag bearer for the 2023 election. Now, in reaction to the Macron, sends deep message to youth over Tinubu's win at APC presidential primaries. Now, the story says Nigeria's skit maker, cum actor Debo Adebayo, popularly called Mr. Macaroni, has sent a strong message to the youth. Hours after the former Lagos governor Bola Tinubu emerged as the flag bearer of All Progressive Congress Party. Now, in a post shared on the microblogging platform Twitter, now Macaroni said it's a fact that every citizen has a right to support any candidate of their choice. However, if people should look at the current state of Nigeria and still need anyone to convince them of the right choice, then they are obviously not tired of suffering. He tweeted, every citizen have every right to support any candidate or party of their choice, and that's the truth. That is democracy. But if you look at Nigeria today and still need anyone to convince you on the right choice, then suffer, never tire. As be that, I rest my case. Now, what do you think is going to happen there? Earlier, Tinubu claimed the party's ticket after polling 1,271 votes, beat Nigeria's Vice President Professor Yemi Osibanjo, who scored 235 votes. President of the Senate Ahmad Lawan, who also pulled 152 votes, and the Minister for Transport Rotimi Amechi, who had 316 votes in the election, which had some aspirants, including Governor Kayode Fayemi, Governor Abubakar Badaru, Senator Ebikunle Amosun, Professor Ajayi Borough Office, former Speaker Demeji Bankole, and others stepping down for the former governor of Lagos State. So is that what helped him out? Maybe if they decided to go on, then maybe it will affect how many votes he would have garnered. But the question now is, who is he going to use as his running mate? Who is it going to be his running mate? Okay, we're going to be looking into that as well. Peter Obi's Labour Party recognizes by INEC. Yes, and Peter Obi, the Independent National Electoral Commission, says it has ratified the Labour Party's leadership structure, recognizing official loyal to presidential candidate Peter Obi. Now, factions of the Labour Party have rejected Mr. Obi as the consensus presidential candidate, nominating other aspirants as the flag bearer. Now, checks by people, some of the news websites show that Julius Obure, Umar Farouk were recognized as the Labour Party's national chairman and secretary, Akin Bade Oyalaken as the national legal advisor. A former deputy national chairman of the party, Kalistos Okafor, claiming to be the party's chair, had sued Messrs. Aburi, Farouk and Oyalaken, declaring their leadership illegal, but the defendants insisted they were elected chairman and secretary at a party's conference in Benin in March 2020. 2021. Now, last week, Mr. Okafor filed an ex-party application praying the Abuja division of the Federal High Court to declare him the lawful chairman of the party. Now, before they hit the ground, even they started bickering. So, what hope do they have? What can they do? Well, some other contenders who are also out now. A prominent lawyer and media executive, Prince Adewale Adebayo, has emerged as the Social Democratic Party, the SDP 2023 presidential candidate. Adebayo scored 1,526 votes to emerge as the party's standard bearer, defeating the only contestant, Khadija Lamidi, who pooled 83 votes. Now, reports that Adebayo won the party's presidential ticket at the SDP National Convention held on Wednesday in Abuja. In his acceptance speech, Adebayo said that his emergence indicates that it was the turn of the Nigerian masses to take over power in 2023 and enjoy the dividends of democracy. But is there going to be any election at all? Will people go out to vote? What are going to be the reaction? What promise? What more promise can these candidates come and or bring about? Okay, now the Third Force Party seem to be having some problem. The Third Force movement under the AEs of the National Consultative Forum, the NC Front, yesterday raised over plot to distract the Labour Party, on whose platform former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi emerged as presidential candidate. Now, the NC Front spokesperson Dr. Yanuza Tanko, in a statement, urged the Nigerian people to stand together to condemn any move to scuttle the collective aspiration to make Nigeria a great nation. Tanko stated this against the backdrop of a convention held by the faction of the Labour Party led by Callistus Uju Okafor. It goes on further to say the faction elected Chief Diga Ezenwafo as its presidential candidate in Abuja. Reacting, however, Tanko said the attention of the Third Force movement is drawn to the attempt of anti-democratic forces targeted towards causing disharmony in our chosen political party, the Labour Party, selected to lead our collective struggle. He faulted Okafor's claim to the leadership of the Labour Party, adding that he is no longer a member of the party. In 2018, Mr. Callistus Okafor was suspended for anti-party activities and was expelled from the party in 2019 for conducting an illegal and unconstitutional convention, which was disregarded by INEC in 2017. So what do you think is going to happen there? Well, the main war has not started. No, let me not put it that way. The main battle has not started, but see what is happening there. So coming your way from Starr Radio UK, 11:23 the time. Some more stories from Nigeria. Now, Tinubu Igbokwe reveals what will happen to Atiku in 2023. A chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, Joe Igbokwe, has said the flag bearer of his party, Bola Tinubu, would defeat the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar. Now, reports that the APC national leader defeated 13 other aspirants, hopefuls at the ruling party's primary election to emerge as its standard bearer. Tinubu pulled 1,271 votes to beat the likes of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who pulled 235 votes, former Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi, 316 votes, and Senate President Lawan, 152 votes. Reacting to Tinubu's emergence, Igbokwe opined that Tinubu will win the 2023 presidential election and retire Abubakar permanently from politics. In a post on his Facebook page, the APC stalwart claimed that the presidency has been zoned to the south, saying that Atiku cannot win the upcoming general elections. Asiwaju will retire Atiku permanently in 2023, and if you must know, presidency is zoned to the south, and the world knows about it, Igbokwe wrote. Now, so if you are listening to us, do you think that this zoning thing is working at all? Because this is a case where the PDP has its presidential candidate from the north. And that is Atiku, okay? And the APC, the ruling government, have their candidate from the south. That is, what is his name again? Tinubu. Now, do you think because of that, people will be voting for the APC or vote against the PDP? Because if people are still thinking that their security is not assured and they don't know what they're going to be doing in the next day, how to fend for themselves, how to protect themselves, then do you think they will go out to go vote for these ones? Well, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, let's look at some other stories making the rounds this morning from Nigeria. Well, the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Mohammed Mahmoud Abubakar, has disclosed the federal government's commitment towards increasing Nigeria's cocoa production from the present 340,000 tons to 500,000 tons by 2024. Now, Abubakar stated during a courtesy visit by the Executive Director, International Cocoa Organization, Mr. Arion Michael in Abuja on Tuesday. The minister assured that Nigeria can achieve an increase in cocoa production based on the present drive of the federal government and relevant stakeholders towards utilization of improved varieties. Now, he noted that of utmost importance is traceability and transparency in the cocoa sector, national cocoa farm irrigation, improvement of the cocoa sector through research, input, delivery, production, value addition, and processing and export. Now, Abubakar stated that recently Nigeria has made a remarkable move to join the Living Income Differential, that is the LID initiatives, and the interactive meeting between Nigeria delegation and Ghana Cocoa Board has yielded a positive result with a recent approval by ministry to establish the National Cocoa Management Committee. Now, he added that the committee will consist of all relevant stakeholders in the Nigeria cocoa industry, develop a framework for regulation and monitoring of all activities in the cocoa sector in order to achieve transparency, traceability, and sustainability. These are all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 11:28 the time. Starr Radio UK, the station. Now, moving on straight to some other stories making the rounds from Nigeria. So we got that. Okay. Shehu Sani wants presidential candidates supporters against inflammatory statements. Now, former Kaduna Central Senator Shehu Sani has admonished presidential candidates and their supporters to conduct their activities with decency, maturity, and a sense of responsibility. This, he said, is due to the fragile and inflammable state of the country. Now, Shehu Sani on Thursday, via his Twitter handle, gave the advice as the race for the most exalted office of the land intensifies. He tweeted saying, in view of the fragile and inflammable state of this country, candidates and their supporters should conduct their campaigns with decency, maturity, and a sense of responsibility. Now, whipping up ethnic, sectional, and religious sentiments will only burn down the country they want to lead. And how true is that? But would they listen to him at all? Would they listen to that when people are just bent on winning or throwing the sink and everything and everything into it to just make sure that they come out as top winners or president for the country? Even what do you think that will even bring about? Now, he continued to say, Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, Bola Ahmed Tinubu of All Progressive Congress, the APC, Peter Obi of Labour Party, Prince Adewale Adebayo of the Social Democratic Party, and Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso of the New Nigerian People's Party, among others, are some of the strong presidential candidates jostling to occupy the number 1 seat in 2023. So what is going to happen there? Will his advice fall on deaf ears, or are they going to hack into it and do something with it? What do you think? It is Star Radio UK. We're going to be taking a break pretty soon. I'll bring you some lovely tune from Nigeria. But I was trying to see, yes. Okay. Now, when it comes to the PDP, I think the running mate issue seems to have been resolved. I don't know how true that is, though. But Nwoba Chika Nwoba, publicity secretary of the People's Democratic Party in Ebonyi State, on Thursday said former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, will be the running mate of Atiku Abubakar. Now, reports that a faction of the Labour Party led by its former Deputy National Chairman Callistus Okafor on Wednesday elected Diga Ezenwafo as its presidential candidate for the 2023 general election. Ezenwafo worked with a factional presidential candidate of the party, Obi, as his chief of protocol during his first term as governor of Anambra State. Now, reacting to the development, Nwoba said it is a ploy to give reason as to why Obi will no longer be contesting office of the president on the platform of the Labour Party. The former governor, Peter Obi, will be the running mate of Atiku Abubakar of the PDP in the 2023 presidential election, Nwoba declared on a Facebook post. Now, the second presidential primary election by the Labour Party, which elected Ambassador Jude Ezenwafo from Anambra State, and whose Peter Obi's director of protocols as governor, is a well-planned ploy to give reasons as to why Peter Obi will no longer be contesting office of the president on the platform of the Labour Party. Well, so it is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 11:32. It is the Thursday edition of the morning show. Let's take a musical break and let's come back and continue with the show. But it's around a very tragic song for Nigeria, a song for peace.
Up to an eerie morning, no children playing, no sounds of greetings, one neighbor to another. Oh, it's quiet and gloomy. Please don't live here no more. No more.
Can't believe how much we've hurt each other. Can't believe the damage we've done.
Brothers hurting brothers, neighbor harming neighbor.
This is Starr Radio UK.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Back down before their time.
I can't go out. I don't know who to trust. Fear is just the other of the day.
Is this the way we want to live?
With peace we don't have to grieve. When peace reigns, fear goes out the door. With peace we can work out our differences. Put an end to all
Oh, you've been down, so yeah.
Cuts deep like a knife, but when muscle came back and kind.
Leave no room in your heart for vengeance and hatred, no, no. And eye for an eye, so leaves everyone blind.
Hey, we have our differences, we cannot change things, making war.
Without peace, all dreams are
Without peace, there's no room to build. So much work to do to make Nigeria the country of our dreams. With peace, with peace, where the peace reigns, fear goes out the door. With peace, we can work out our differences. Put an end to all the hate. With peace, we don't have to be. Where peace reigns, fear goes out the door. With peace, we can work out our differences. Put an end to all the hate. Wake up, everybody! It's time to build a new day. Enough's enough. Let's put the past behind us. It's only when there's peace that we can build a new Nigeria. Enough's enough. Let's give peace a chance.
This is Starr Radio. This is Starr Radio.
Okay, so give peace a chance. When it comes to Nigeria, it comes to that election that will be taking place next year. I promise you that when we come on tomorrow, Mr. Olayomi could be joining in, and we'll be bringing you some more details about the permutations when it comes to the various candidates. Who will be the running mate for Osibanjo? Osibanjo is not going to be running because he lost to Atiku Abubakar. And who will be the running mate for Tinubu as well? Who is going to be? Maybe Osibanjo can go for a second term to balance the equation. So at least he comes from the south, and it's going to be south-south, isn't it? But well, do you know what is going to happen there? I'm not very sure of what is happening in Nigeria at the moment. But as whether the election is going to take place or not, it's another question. But hey, let's take a quick commercial break. This afternoon, exactly at 5 o'clock, we'll be having BB Clement. At 6 o'clock, BB Clement coming your way. But at 7, we'll be having KB Bossman and Vicky Newton on the Property Hour show.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I'm bringing the time now to exactly 19 minutes to the top of the hour. That is 19 minutes to 12. Today is Thursday, and it's a Thursday edition of the morning show. I remember yours sincerely, the one and only Archie. Don't go away. Don't leave me. Yes, stay with me. If you're holding on to something, you're standing, hold on to something. If you're sitting, sit very comfortably. Get yourself a hot or cold drink, whichever is appropriate. Yes, and then enjoy yourself. What about that? Okay, enjoy the program. From archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar. As I say, I'll be bringing it your way if it's making the headlines. Why not? Why not? Okay, we'll be moving now to some other stories making the rounds in other African countries before we move on to the developed countries as well and end up landing here in London. Landing here in London. What about that? Okay. Now, interestingly, in Ghana, Mahama is a better leader than Akufo-Addo, Haruna Atta is saying. Now, Muntaka, 4 NDC MPs filed motion for probe into 2020 general election. Now, some of us were of the view that, well, whatever happened, whatever went on, it's been dealt with some way, somehow. Even the flag bearer of the NDC, that is the former president John Dramani Mahama, might have even put a line or ruled a line underneath it and decided, let's move on, let's see the way forward, the best way forward. So that seems to be what he's doing at the moment. But it looks like some people are still of the view that hey, something went wrong. But where are they going to be taking it to? We're going to be looking into that as well. Parliamentary Committee probing 2020 elections needless. That is what Solomon Owusu is saying. So let's bring that story first. Now, 5 members of parliament have filed a private members' motion for a thorough probe into the 2020 general elections. The legislators who jointly filed the motion are MP for Aswase, Mohamed Muntaka Mubarak, MP for Bolga East, Dr. Dominic Ayeni, MP for Akatsi South, Bernard Ahiafo, Buem MP, who is in the person of Kofi Adams, and MP for Salaga South, Zuwera Ibrahima. Now, issues raised by the MPs in the 9-point motion involve allegation of pre-thumb printed ballot papers in the Ashanti region, the discovery of excess ballot papers during the period, and multiple declaration of results after the polls. Now, the MPs also seek an investigation into alleged procurement breaches at the Electoral Commission and an inquiry into the violence in some six constituencies during and after the 2020 polls. The motion states that the committee to probe the said issues must be chaired by a member of the minority. The XYZ parliamentary sources state that the motion has not been moved in parliament yet. The 2020 election results were challenged in the Supreme Court by the NDC flag bearer John Mahama over concerns that the process were not free and fair. In 2021, the opposition National Democratic Congress, the NDC, petitioned the Inspector General of Police to probe the alleged illegal printing of excess presidential ballot papers in 2020. The General Secretary of the NDC, Johnson Esiedun Ketia, who signed the petition, the petition papers were printed illegally. Thus, officials of the Electoral Commission and InnoLink found culpable and must be prosecuted. Now, providing the details of their complaints, the party alleged that the ballot papers were discovered by their agents when they, alongside others, had returned to InnoLink printing press to supervise the reprinting of ballots for the Afija Kwabre South constituency. Now, according to the party, when our agents confronted the supervisors at InnoLink, they gave all manner of incoherent answers. Now, one claimed that it was a back-up, while another lady in the charge of the bindery claimed they were meant for runoffs. Now, seemingly confused officials of InnoLink could not provide any further tenable answers. Now, when EC officials were asked about the above development, they denied any knowledge of same. Our agents insisted that the ballots should be destroyed forthwith. Now, they ensured that all the ballots, which were estimated at over 1 million, were shredded and scheduled for destruction, the party claimed. The party said its petition was occasioned by the fact that there had not been any update on investigation in electoral malpractices and violences that characterized the election and voter registration exercise. Now, do you think we rule a line under this and move on after the Supreme Court ruling, whether it be fair, unfair, or what? But we're looking at the economy at the moment, like what is happening here in the UK, where people are calling for the head of the Prime Minister. Do you think that Ghana has to go on that path, especially when we are already desperate? What do you think about all that? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, in relation to that, well, some entities in the ruling party, a member of the communication team of the New Patriotic Party, Solomon Owusu, has described the request by 5 NDC party MPs for a bipartisan committee to review processes adopted by the Electoral Commission in the 2020 election as a waste of everybody's time. The minority MPs also want the committee to inquire whether the Electoral Commission introduced ballot papers that were thumb-printed and bore the stamps of the commission into the system. The sponsors of the bills are, as I did mention beforehand in the first article that I did put across. Now, among other things, the committee is expected to establish the cause of the disturbances and electoral violence associated with the election. The committee is also investigated to investigate the alleged procurement breaches in the sales contract for the biometric verification devices. But speaking on the radio show yesterday, Solomon Owusu slammed the NDC over this move, saying there are more pressing issues militating against the growth of the country that must agitate their minds, and for which they must seek solutions. Now, one of our problems as Ghanaians is the fact that we don't like to talk about the things that negatively affect us. We rather spend time on unnecessary things. Today, diesel is being sold for 12.4 a litre, which is collapsing transport business. The governor of the Bank of Ghana has increased the base rate, which has resulted in the increase in the interest rate. Business are collapsing, and the NDC MPs are not concerned about that. Well, they're trying to look at the foundation, because the Bible says that if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? So they're trying to make sure that the foundation is all right, so it's not destroyed. Now, what about that? Well. It is Starr Radio UK. But when it comes to the issue pertaining to whoever or who is a better president than the other, Haruna, a former High Commissioner to Namibia and Botswana, has described former President John Mahama as a better leader who steered the affairs of the country better than what Ghanaians are witnessing and experiencing under President Akufo-Addo. In a conversation with some news network, Haruna rated the performance of the current government as a mess. Now, comparing former President Mahama's tenure in office, he underscored the need for Ghanaians to appreciate that leadership is not experimental, and hence, if Ghanaians had given the former president the opportunity to lead the country in the 2016 elections, Ghana would have been better off. True or false? I want to know what you think about that. This, he believes, is because Mahama measures up to the likes of Kwame Nkrumah and to some extent Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, whom he described as a leader who was effective but not fully understood. Now, Haruna Atta over time has drifted so much towards the social democratic tenets of the largest opposition in Ghana, the National Democratic Congress, of which he was appointed a High Commissioner to the Southern African country of Namibia and Botswana. It is on record that the former diplomat has on many occasions used words that are not charitable in his description of the leadership style of the current president, Akufo-Addo, who he has called a con man. Now, the journalist and the former editor of the Statesman and Accra Daily Mail newspaper, Haruna Atta, questioned the atmosphere under which journalists are operating today. In his estimation, all gains made by the fourth estate under the 1992 Constitution, now dispensation in helping shape and grow Ghana's democracy, has been eroded in the last 5 years because of the persistent arrest and harassment of journalists and social commentators for doing their work. Now, touching on his relationship with the late former President Jerry Rawlings after the infamous incarceration of himself, Haruna Atta, and his friend Kweku Baako, the retired diplomat who turned 70 years in September this year, noted that with the passage of time, the two gentlemen made up for their differences before the latter passed on over a year ago. Now, recounting a close encounter he had with former President Jerry Rawlings when he was a High Commissioner to the country, Haruna said it was a surprise that the former president seemed nice towards him when they had to host him when an official visit to Namibia. He explained that they both had to put away their differences to discuss some security challenges threatening the stability of the West African sub-region, especially with the rise of radical groups like Boko Haram in Nigeria, the presence of Samuel Nujoma, who had a special relationship with the late Rawlings. Okay. Well, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing you some stories still from Ghana. Now, Occupy Ghana has threatened to sue the Auditor General over disallowances and surcharges. Now, Occupy Ghana has threatened the Auditor General with a court action if he fails to respond to them on issues of disallowances and surcharges. According to the group, they have written series of letters requesting the Auditor General to furnish them on action taken for illegal use of government funds in your 2019 and 2020 audit reports, but failed to reply to them. On the 3rd of February 2022, we wrote to you in a quote, okay, in the exercise of our right to information under Article 21 of the Constitution, to provide us with information on whether or not you have issued the required disallowances and surcharges. You have ignored that as well. Now, you got them further to say. Now, if you have issued the disallowances and surcharges demanded and have not informed us of the action by replying to our earlier letters, please do so for the sake of good process and order. Now, Occupy Ghana stated in its letter dated June 6, 2021, that's a couple of days ago, addressed to the Auditor General. Now, the group continued, if, however, you have failed to action our demand to issue the disallowance and surcharges and further failed to provide the information we requested, be informed that we shall commence legal proceedings against you, including filing a petition to the Right to Information Commission. But do you think that will matter to them? We had the whole parliament actually summoning the finance minister. He didn't appear. Did they even summon the electoral commissioner? She didn't appear. So you ask yourself the question: what institution is actually robust enough in Ghana to call somebody to order? So do you think Occupy Ghana can actually make something out of this hot air that they are blowing at the moment, or is this going to be one of those things? Well, it is all Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, some group of people or individuals have been ones with the government are criticizing the government. Now let me bring you a couple of those stories. Now, former Deputy Road Minister Kwabena Owusu Duomi says the ruling New Patriotic Party cannot count on Ashanti region to break the 8 in 2024 if roads in the region are not uplifted. According to the defeated Ashanti Regional Chairman Hopeful, the electorate in the region, particularly the MPP sympathizers, are not impressed with the performance of the ruling government in addressing developmental needs of the region. Now, speaking earlier, the former member of parliament for the Jusu constituency said, I told all the 47 constituencies in the region ahead of the MPP Ashanti Delegates Conference, and signals were clear. Our people are disappointed. Now, this means if elections are to be held today, we may not meet our expectation, he said. He said if the MPP fails to improve road networks in rural constituencies, which contribute heavily to electoral votes, such as Manso, Dubia, Kwabre, among others, they may not even have the courage to campaign for their vote. Now, I think the re-elected chairman Wontumi and the regional minister Simon Osei Mensah must develop a strategy to address the road networks in the region, which remains a critical need of the people. Although we can't fix every road in the region, we need to team up with our constituency executives to identify critical roads that need immediate attention. We should forget about breaking the 8 he won. Well, criticizing them there by showing them directly what is going on. Now, what about other communities where they have deplorable roads, network, and all sorts? What do you think is going to happen to them with these stories? Okay. That's coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, Cabinet considered price control, Osafo Mafo reveals. Now, Senior Presidential Advisor Yao Osafo Mafo has disclosed that Cabinet considered the possible introduction of price control policy to put a check soaring prices of food and goods in the country. Okay. Now, it goes on further to say that price control is an economic policy imposed by government that sets minimums, that's floors and maximum ceilings for the prices of goods and services in order to make them more affordable for consumers. Now, however, according to him, Cabinet rather opted for a evacuation program to ensure that foods are evenly distributed and made available across the country to curb shortages. Now, today, Cote d'Ivoire has introduced price control by law. In Cote d'Ivoire, you can't buy any quantity of sugar, milk that you want because there is a price control. Now, Cabinet sat on this for a long time, but we said no. Ghanaians, we don't believe in price control. So he said we should help in evacuation. If there is plantain and abundance somewhere, government should help transport it for redistribution so that food will be available everywhere. Osafo Mafo said in a meeting with some constituency executives of the ruling party in Koforidua. Now, Consumer Price Index data released by the Ghana Statistical Services on Wednesday, June 8, stated that the inflation in Ghana has climbed to 27.6% per the month of May. So if before May you had 100 Ghana cedis in your pocket, now that money is worth a 73 or 72.96 Ghana. That's what it means. But do you think price control would have done it? Well, if people are buying or whatever they are, I mean, moving goods or food stuff around the country, it's costing them an arm and a leg. Whatever you do, I mean, unless of course they're going to get free transport or getting some reimbursement from government or getting some tax exemption from government. But you know what? It's all happened that anytime there are tax exemptions, there are people who are investors in the country or the top hooks who are given that. And what do they do with it? That's the question. It is Starr Radio UK. One final story before a couple of final stories before we move on to other parts of the world. Now, there have been 5 cases of monkeypox confirmed in Ghana. Now, 5 cases of monkeypox have been confirmed in the Eastern Bono and Greater Accra regions, the Ghana Health Services have said. One of the cases was recorded in a Ghanaian who traveled to the United States of America from Ghana. Now, according to the Director General of the service, Dr. Patrick Kuma Abuaje, the cases were identified through testing of 12 suspected cases, including 1 case that was reported from the Western region. It goes on further to say in the court, I'm sure of late we have had a lot of discussions on social media on monkeypox, and I think the most popular one was the one from the Western region that was negative. We tested and it was negative. Now, well, the monkeypox is a zoonotic disease caused by monkeypox virus. It's endemic in Nigeria and Cameroon. It is transmitted from an infected animal. Now, squirrels, rats, dormice, monkeys, etc. are from infected humans. Now, human-to-human transmission can occur through the following: skin-to-skin contact, face-to-face contact, mouth-to-skin contact. It can also be spread through touching, bedding, towels, clothing, objects used by an infected person. So far, since the outbreak, we've tested 12 suspected cases in Ghana since May 24, 2022. Currently, we have confirmed 5 cases in 3 regions, Eastern, Bono, and the Greater Accra. No deaths have occurred among the cases, he revealed at a press conference on Wednesday. Okay, so 2 minutes past the top of the hour, the time, Starr Radio UK, the station, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We'll now be moving on to other stories making the rounds, but let me announce the lines opened and then we take a commercial break. Now, if you want to join the conversation, call us on 0208-133-2257 or 58 0208-133-2257 or 58. If you happen to be in the US or Canada area, it is 001-7183-032737 001-7183-032737. Text or WhatsApp at 0753-96617 44 0753-96617 44. Our Twitter handles are Starr Radio UK and email address is info@starradiouk.com. Stay tuned, don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
All around the world.
So be the Kenya money Saudi Arabia Maura my boss so friend when you
Well, something from the Vox, a cover version of Amachi the Day, Sufre Winyame. Enjoy it and I'll be with you. Call on your God. Well, the cover version of Amachi the Day is Sufre Winyame, and I love that one, that cover version of that. But I hope that you enjoyed it as well. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 8 minutes past 12. Yes, like I announced earlier on before we went on the break, feel free to share your take with us on any of the issues going on. But now let's look at some of the stories making the round here in other parts of the world, on the African continent as well. My apologies there as well, say here. Now the Tunisian lawyers' week-long strike continues on Wednesday. Now judges held the protest outside the capital court when dozens of lawyers and activists gathered on the steps of the Palace of Justice in Tunis. Now some shouted, "Down with the coup," and others chanted, "Judicial authority, no police orders." All protesters denounced last week's decision by President Kais Saied to dismiss 57 judges. Now, regarding the president's decision to fire these judges, it is an illegal and false decision because the decision didn't follow the laws and the rules, lawyer Amel Miladi said. Now, those very laws are made to protect citizens and judges. Those are laws that are anchored in Tunisia's constitutional law. In a televised address on June the 1st, President Kais Saied removed judges accusing them of corruption, sexual harassment, and as well as protecting terrorists. Now, then, hundreds of judges unanimously voted over the weekend to hold a sit-in and strike. Since then, courtrooms across the North African country have been closed. This move by Saied is just the latest sign of a power struggle between Tunisia's president and the judiciary. Now, for the first time since 25th of July 2020, the conflict has passed from being a conflict between the power and the opposition to a conflict that includes the state's institutions themselves. Now, Jawar Ben Barek commented, the constitutional law professor and leader of the Tunisian Against the Coup movement also added, the judiciary is a sovereign institution of the Tunisian state, and now it is in conflict with the president of the republic. It is a new development. For the first time, the state itself is resisting Kais Saied. This is new, and I think this will be fatal for him. It's been almost a year since President Kais Saied sacked the government and took hold of all executive powers, arguing such measures were needed to save the country from imminent peril. Now, it goes on further to say, and fight widespread corruption. However, critics have since accused him of making a grab for one-man rule and denounce an authoritarian rule. Is it authoritarian rule? Now, if one person's vision can lead us all to the promised land, let me put it in that phrase, yeah? Why don't we listen to the person? But somebody say, the checks and balances are there to balance the issues. But we don't see that in Africa. One person comes in Wales. But, you know, if you look at the development that have taken place in other parts of the world, we talk about South Korea, we talk about some other countries, okay, where one person stood. Let's even take Libya at the time. When Gaddafi stood in, they said that, well, he was slamming down on opposition forces, blah, blah, blah. But if you look at the development that the country saw, or yes, in each case, you could see that it was a good cause that the president or the leader took at the time, though stamping on the voices of others who were against or could not see eye to eye with his vision. But what do you think about all that? Well. Without help, Tunisia at all? Well, we'll see more about that in the Starr Radio UK. Now, in Senegal as well, Senegal opposition calls for the interior minister to resign after rejection of electoral list. In Senegal, the Yewwi Askan Wi coalition is keeping pressure on the APR party of President Macky Sall and his coalition. Now, thousands of supporters of the opposition leader Ousmane Sonko demonstrated on Wednesday in Dakar. They denounced what they called maneuvers by the president to politically eliminate his opponents. Their protests came after the Constitutional Council rejected national list of Yewwi Askan Wi led by Sonko's party. Now, this means he is barred from participating in the July 31 election. The opposition figure adamantly reaffirmed his determination. From now on, Ousmane Sonko said to the supporters, "Stay tuned. We will give you clear instructions because the fight has only just begun. If the government decides to eliminate the list of Yewwi Askan Wi, the opposition coalition, in the legislative election, it is let it know that there will be no elections in Senegal, or if there are elections, we will face Benno Bokk Yakaar, that is the coalition in power. Well, the ruling of the highest court confirmed the decision of the Senegalese interior minister, who deemed the national list of both the ruling party and the opposition party inadmissible. Now, Bartholomew Diaz, mayor of the Dakar and member of opposition, called for the minister to resign. We demand the resignation of the minister of the interior, Antoine Diome, and since he is not capable of resigning, we demand the Macky Sall brings in a responsible person, a fair person, to organize the election, because he alone is a living symbol of the instability that can reign in Senegal. Now, millions of voters living in the electoral district, which comprise the 46 Senegalese departments and include the voters registered abroad, will head to the polls next month in order to beat the ruling party's coalition, which currently dominates the National Assembly. The Yewi Askan-Wi coalition and the Wallo Senegal coalition of former President Abdoulaye Wade teamed up for next month's parliamentary election. But as they say, is there going to be any election there for them at all? Or what are we going to be seeing? Are we going to be seeing what seems to be happening in Nigeria, where people are saying, some group of people are saying, we're not going to be going for election? Or what do you think? I want to know your take. It is Starr Radio, okay? It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, now let's move on to one other story before we leave the African continent. Okay. My apologies, just bear with me. It seems the story that I wanted to look has eluded me. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let me bring you this one instead. Adama Big Togo, an executive of the ruling party in Cote d'Ivoire, was elected president of the National Assembly on Tuesday. This comes a month after the death of his predecessor, Amadou Soumaoro. Adama Big Togo, 59, largely beat his opponent, MP Jean-Michel Michael Amanko, 237 votes to 6. 3 blank votes and 2 invalid ballots were also recorded. Even if that is all counted to John Michael Amanko, I don't think he will come anywhere near to what Amadou Soumaoro won. My apologies. Big Togo won. And at the gathering and the consensus that we called for with all wishes have become reality through this election. Our fraternity, our solidarity, our commitment to the general interest have transcended our political sensitivities. Mr. Big Togo said after his election. Mr. Big Togo, who already enjoyed the support of Rassemblement des Hopotistes pour la Paix, the RHDP, the majority in the assembly, received Tuesday morning the rallying of the main opposition parties, including the Democratic Party of Cote d'Ivoire, the PDCI, from which his rival John Michael Amanko comes from. Well, so that has been what is happening on the African continent, and this one from La Côte d'Ivoire, or Ivory Coast, as some of us may call it. Okay, 18 minutes past the top of the hour at the time, Starr Radio UK, the station. Let me see whether the story that eluded me might pop up again. Okay, let's move on. Quickly. Okay. All right. Yeah, I've got that story, and this comes from Kenya. But before we go on that, now leaders from Djibouti, Ethiopia, Kenya, and Egypt have arrived in the Somali capital Mogadishu for the inauguration of President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud. A high-level delegation from Djibouti, led by President Ismail Guelleh, landed at Mogadishu Adan Abdul International Airport to attend the inauguration ceremony of President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud. State on SNTV said in a tweet and shared pictures of Mr. Guelleh and his delegation. It goes on further to say the state TV also tweeted pictures of Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed arriving in Mogadishu for the ceremony. Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta was also received at the Mogadishu airport by the Somali Prime Minister Mohammed Hussein Rubble. The security has been beefed up in the country, and the city has been under curfew ahead of the inauguration. Earlier on Thursday, reports said mortar rounds were fired in Mogadishu, mainly hitting civilian homes. The Somali president was sworn in on the 15th of May, immediately after he was elected by the country's bicameral parliament. His predecessor handed over power on the 23rd of May. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 12:20. Now, Kenyan audits have found 250,000 dead people on voters' roll. Now, Kenya's electoral agency says an ongoing audit of the voters' roll has found the names of nearly 250,000 deceased voters on the register. Nearly 500,000 more voters were found to have duplicate records, and more than 226,000 people were registered using documents that do not belong to them. My goodness. Now, others are registered with invalid documents. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, the IEBC, said in a statement on the anomalies that affect more than 1 million people. The IEBC chairman Wafula Chibukati said that because of the implementation of the preliminary audit findings, the commission will delay certifying the final register for publication. The commission said earlier that it will publish the register of voters or before the 9th of June, but has pushed that to the 20th of June as it seeks to address the findings by KPMG, the firm contracted to do the audit. Now, electoral irregularities in past elections in Kenya have led to deadly violence. This year's election will be held on the 9th of August. Would that be different in any way, shape, or form? Well, it is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, now let's move on swiftly to some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Okay, the U.S. House has passed a gun bill doomed to fail in the Senate. Though they've passed it, but we know it's due to fail in the Senate. The U.S. House of Representatives has voted through a series of measures regulating the sale of guns, but which are destined to fail in the Senate. The new measures will bar sales of semi-automatic weapons to people under 21 and ban large capacity magazines. But Republican opposition in the Senate means the bill has little chance of entering law. Now, despite a renewed focus on gun control in the wake of series of mass shootings in the U.S., hours before the vote, survivors of the Uvalde school shooting gave emotional testimony to lawmakers, which reduced some to tears. The primary school shooting in the Texan city claimed the lives of 21 people, including 19 young children. Now, one 11-year-old girl told the hearing in a pre-recorded testimony that she had smeared her classmates' blood on herself to play dead, and graphically described the moment the gunman shot her teacher in the head. The Uvalde attack and other recent mass killings have sparked a new round of bipartisan talks on gun control in the U.S. Senate, but Democrats need at least 10 Republicans on board to pass any new laws. Now, conservatives want to protect the constitutional right to bear arms and object to limiting sales of the assault style rifles used in Uvalde shootings. And while a group of Republicans and Democratic senators are trying to find common ground, correspondents say that whatever they come up with is very unlikely to involve any sweeping reforms. In the House of Representatives Wednesday, wide-ranging package of legislation called the Protecting Our Kids Act by lawmakers passed by 223 to 204 votes, with just 5 Republicans joining Democrats in supporting the bill. In addition to tighter controls around the sale of guns, it will also introduce a scheme allowing local government and compensate individuals who surrender high-capacity magazines and strengthen existing regulations on bomb stock and untraceable ghost guns. However, the measures cannot pass into law without approval in the Senate. In a quote, America has lost more children from gun violence than any other cause. Does that embarrass you? The House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, said during a debate on the bill. But interestingly, one thing that the other time I was having, I had a visitor, and then we were having a chat. And then this individual did say that, look, in the U.S. there is this law that's abortion law. Okay, so we see how passionate people are about protecting lives. Okay, so when someone is pregnant, they say no, we shouldn't abort. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't. Kill them. However, when people are birthed and they are alive, we want people to get guns, and go shoot them. So what is the point? Is it not hypocrisy? If when the people are in the womb where they can be protected, you do your best to make sure that they are there, then what if when the people come alive, are born and are able to go about their duties doing all sorts, why can't we say we want to protect the lives of those ones? But that's what I've been advocating for, saying all the time that I hope that one day, they will have those who are actually protesting the reforms will have somebody close to them or even themselves facing such threat, or being shot at, or being killed, and then maybe it will make them realize and sit up and smell the coffee. What do you think about that? Well, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 12:27 the time, the morning show with me, Archie, here. Okay, now let's move on to let's take a quick commercial break, and we come back. There are other stories that I'm going to be bringing your way. I need to gulp my throat with some nice cold water. What of you? You can also do so whilst we are just taking a quick break, and we will be with you. Stay tuned. Don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. On your screens at the moment, those of you watching us of viewing us. Yes, the Property Hour show today. KB Bossman and Vicky Newton will be hosting Trevor Taki, who is the director for Traveling Properties UK and Ghana. Yes, today they'll be looking at relocating to Ghana, finding properties to buy or rent. So if you have intention of moving to Ghana, now you want to get yourself a nice property, you don't want to go buy a land and then today the land has been sold, tomorrow land guards are fighting over the land and all that culminating that comes with it, then please make sure you listen to this program, at least to give you an idea of what to do next if you want to relocate to Ghana. Okay, so it is All Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and that will be exactly at 7 p.m. 7 to 8 when the Property Hour show comes your way every Thursday. All right then, now let's move on to some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world, as they say earlier on. A U.S. man has been charged for threatening a top court justice. A California man is facing a charge of attempted murder after his arrest near the home of a Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Now, Nicholas John Rusk, 26, had planned to murder a Supreme Court justice and was armed with a pistol and tactical knife. Court document has said the suspect was taken into custody at about 1 a.m. local time. That is 6 a.m. BST. Now, protection for the justices have been beefed up ahead of landmark ruling. That's what the story is saying there. But let me finish that story before I move on. Now, Mr. Rusky was spotted by 2 U.S. deputy marshals while getting out of a taxi in front of a Supreme Court justice home. Now, carrying a suitcase and a backpack. Now, Mr. Rusky tended to walk down the street. Soon after, local emergency services took a call from a man who identified himself as Mr. Rusky. Now, Mr. Rusky said he was having suicidal thoughts, had a gun, and had come from California to kill a specific United States Supreme Court justice. Local police officers were sent to the justice home and arrested Mr. Ruskin. According to the Washington Post, Justice Kavanaugh and his family were at home at the time of the arrest. Now, while in custody, Mr. Ruskin said he was upset about the leaked Supreme Court document on abortion, as well as the recent mass shooting in Uvalde, Texas, according to the affidavits. He said he believed Justice Kavanaugh might issue ruling that will loosen gun control regulations. So you see, what I've been talking about, it seems to be happening. All right then, it is Starr Radio UK. We've got Mr. Kofi Ali online. Let's go to him now, and we'll come to some of the other stories making the rounds. Kofi, good afternoon to you.
Afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Actually, the news you just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a state in the U.S. news or the federal news?
It's a state in the U.S. news.
Good. And therefore, a state case.
Yeah.
So if you are, for example, in West Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
A case in Ghana, in the context of U.S., will be Ghanaian a state case.
Yeah.
But if you want to look at the United States level, like European Union level,
mm-hmm.
then you'll be looking at it at the ECOWAS level. I don't know whether you see what I'm saying here.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Or you can make it, or you can make it African Union case.
Mm-hmm.
Can you understand?
Yeah.
And there are reasons why the founding fathers of America set up the United States. They didn't. I don't know whether your understanding of history include the independence was not, collectively as you know it today.
Okay, correction there. Brett Kavanaugh is a U.S. Supreme Court Justice. Okay.
So it's a U.S. So you are talking about U.S.
It's the federal. Yes.
Good.
Yes.
So if it's a federal case, it's like somebody in Ghana taking a case to ECOWAS court or African Union court.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most times when we are making comparison, you understand, we make comparison wrongly, comparing a dog with a horse. They all have 4 legs. They are all, animals. Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
But one is not the same as the other. If they are running in a race, while the horse is jumping, for every 5 jump the horse make, every 10 jumps the dog make, is up to about 2 jumps of the horse. So if the economies, or there are 2 situations that you are comparing, in economic sense, you are actually making erroneous, or we call it fallacious, comparative analysis. And this is why sometimes we have a problem. There is flood in Ghana. The flood in Ghana, you understand, and there was a flood in maybe Mississippi, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Then the federal was involved in solving the one in Florida. So they didn't leave it to the state alone to solve. The whole federal, the president up there came with his aeroplane, they landed. That is why they have the big jet to be able to, and then they marshal all the military of the federal to go there, emergency to deal with the flood or the hurricane. Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody's talking about Ghana. And Accra, there's flood everywhere. And then they are only capable of looking at the president of Ghana to come and solve the problem, and they are referring the same thing with what they did in America. Meanwhile, those in the so-called ECOWAS are sleeping. Can you see?
Yes, I can see.
If the ECOWAS is coming, helicopters from Nigeria, from Senegal, from this, from that, they've all been commanded because the commander-in-chief is the same person. Marshal all of them to Accra. By the time they'll be leaving there, the businessmen, how the money is going to get across, so that they will dig tunnels, they will dig gutters, they will create embankment. This thing will not happen again. Is that not true?
Mm-hmm.
The next time, maybe the problem will be in Togo. You see them there. It happens somewhere in Nigeria. They all land together. But what we have here is, it's like we ourselves have accepted the life of hopeless people. See, about 4 days ago, some people were in a church. They were somewhere in Nigeria. You remember the news?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And some gunmen went there to shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the body. It is sad and it's pathetic. But in the first place, why are these people in the church? If you ask me, Kofi Ali,
mm-hmm.
The only time you have so many people going to church, right,
mm-hmm.
is when they have problems that they don't know how to solve.
No, I wouldn't agree with you there.
Oh, so you mean
this is a Sunday service that they go. So it's like a religious thing that they do. So you're not talking about maybe weekday, in the afternoon, and they're having church service, and then I will come to that.
Be patient with me. Before you go to church on Sunday, you can't go to church hungry. You can't go to church on Sunday because you must go to church on Sunday and you have not paid your rent. You can't go to church on Sunday and then your son is not going to school, and then it is the church you are going to. You go and do what? The only thing you'll be telling God in that church is how to pay your rent so that your landlord will not throw your things in the street.
Well, that is your take on it. I know that when you come to religion, say you have
no. This is not about religion. Let me be honest with you. You see, sometimes we try to separate certain things from the realities of our life. The great politicians in the world that are making the difference, they tell you the teaching of Jesus has a lot to do with it. A lot. The teaching Jesus Christ to us today is a spiritual, is a Superman, to be honest with you, in his time, right? What they are doing there, we call it politics. We call it politics. It can be a religion to you today. But to us, it is politics. It's about problems of the Jews, like with Moses. It was the problem of the children of Israel. And they want a solution. They want the Romans to leave. They want the Romans to stop collecting tax from them. So you see, if today they become bread and butter of some people and they think every Sunday is just the way we do it, like the Muslims who go to the mosque, every time you see them going, when they are even children are not going to school, when they are even sick, you see them in the mosque. No. Listen, there may be something that our fathers did in the past. You understand?
No, so let me interject there. Now the people going to the church to go and pray, whether because they are desperate for what is going on in Nigeria, they want to go and pray to God for maybe security to come into the good security issue to come into the country. Do you think it was right for them to be killed?
Yeah, I'm coming. Am I the one who killed them? Now some people are realizing that, right? When election is coming, it is the same people who go and follow Onabanjo, and then they will vote en masse because the pastor leading them will have been taken care of and he will lead them. So they have become like flocks. So when others are going on demonstration, you see them looking at them that you are useless, you are wasting your time. God will solve our own problem. And these people have been going to that church every time. They are so loyal, they are so honest, and most of them innocent. What the problem is you can go to church, you can go to mosque, you can go to your shrine, you can go to your synagogue as you like. But first of all, you must have a job. Don't we live in Europe? Don't we? Are you telling me people who go work in Tesco, they don't go to church?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Are you not sitting at your work?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you go to church?
I do.
So it means if we can create more jobs, people will still go to church, even with dignity. In America, people go to church. Is that not true?
Mm-hmm.
But in our case, the problem before us is to create jobs. Then they are sitting there hoping God will come and create a job.
Now, if the leaders are not doing anything, what do they do? They have lost hope. When you lose hope, what do you do?
Listen to me. We are holding and saying everybody out. Everybody, not some people. There is a problem. Whether we saw it right or wrong, everybody out. Let's go and get these leaders, these gods. People who have turned themselves unto God, unto us. When the Bible has said, ye are gods, we are the gods. They have turned themselves into gods. And they are fiddling with our life. And we are calling some people, let us go. They say, no, they know where God is. They are going to a different place. So they are breaking. They cannot come and understand that when we win the battle, we will worship God better. Because worshiping God, when you have some alcohol or some drink or some nice juice or some fan and some air conditioning in the church and some good drums and dancing as well on Sunday in your car with your family, I think that is better than this destitute who go to church. This is not the way of God. This is not how Jesus was preaching. If that is the case, some people feel they are saboteurs. Can you see? Mm-hmm. That and the extremists will even feel they don't feel to live because they are wished. However, you understand, it's sad, but sometimes we also need to back off and look at the bigger picture. Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
And that is when I'm coming back to you. It's not personal. And I heard you saying something that the Ukrainians are defending their land. You remember you said that?
But that was yesterday.
Yes, I'm sure you said it within the context.
Mm-hmm.
And that was yesterday. I agree with you. But what you said is very important. Who owned the land? That's the question you ask. Does the land belong to Ukrainians or it belong to the Russians or it belongs to Soviet Union?
There's no more Soviet Union, so it belongs to the Ukrainians.
Fine. So because there is no more Soviet Union, right? That land that Russians and Ukrainians built together yesterday, today it only belongs to Ukrainians. Russians have no say on it. Is that what you are saying?
Of course. They are all Soviet states, yeah.
I agree with you. Then let us go back into history. The land where today you have Mr. Biden and Donald Trump with their family bluffing and bullying, who were the original people on that land?
The indigenous people, the Native Americans.
What is their name? Red Indians.
The Red Indians, yeah.
The Apache and the Wanabians and whatever, all the tribes of the Red Indians. isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my! When the Americans founding fathers, in the days of the British empires, when they were killing and fighting those people were defending what they believed to be their land. Is that not true?
Yeah.
Today, who owns the land? Who is standing at the border to decide whether you come in or not? Who give visa? Who is the commander-in-chief? Can you see how things change? So nothing is permanent. For anyone to say anyone owns anything, if you can't defend it,
then you don't own it. Oh, okay. I hear you.
See, when the Americans were in Iraq, what were the Iraqis doing? They were defending their land, as you said. Is that not true?
Mm-hmm.
Also, what the Americans were doing in Iraq was wrong.
Of course.
But have you taken Bush to The Hague? Or it is history, so we forget it?
Mm.
Is that not true?
Yeah.
Now, when they went to Afghanistan, it did not the American. Do you know it was the American who wanted to leave?
Yeah. They
were just tired of the nonsense, and they feel, let's leave these people. If they want to be hacking themselves to death, we don't care. We've done what we want to do. We are going home. Yes. Can you see? When the Americans were there, did you say the Osama bin Laden was defending his land?
Nope.
Why today is this man then? So when the Americans are the ones, because the might is right, and they are the toughest and the strongest people in the world, go and kill people, it's fine. All the cowards, we all keep quiet. We say hallelujah. But when Putin is doing it, the devil is doing it, isn't it? My brother, sometimes do you know what is paining me in all these things?
What?
Macky Sall, the so-called president of Senegal, who think is the president of the African Union, and went to sit down with Putin begging him for food. I just tweet you, the president, our president of beggars. Honestly. I don't know. Have you been to Senegal before?
No, I've not.
My brother, with the right technology, you see, I know you know Ghana very well.
Mm-hmm.
You can get about 8 times or 9 times, more than 10 times the size of the land of Ghana inside Senegal.
Okay. So just
and when you add Mali, it's a world of its own. But the vegetation are not like the kind of vegetation you have in Ghana, because we fall on the rainforest zone area. You know, you did some geography.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So we have the timbers, the big trees. They also have their own trees. You understand? They have certain parts that are not as bad as you can think, and they have the desert as well. And do you know that grains can grow in the desert?
Yeah.
California, you go there today, you see. Go to California, Mississippi River Niger. It starts from Futajalo Mountain in Guinea, pass through Mali, pass through, and do you know that there is River Senegal?
Yeah.
I don't know. Most people don't know.
Yeah, I know.
There are 2 rivers. There's a river between Senegal and the Gambia. Sorry, now forget about Senegal. River Gambia. There is a river flowing through between Senegal and Mali, and there's a river flowing, big river, not small. It's like the Thames. You see River Thames, big one between Mauritania and Senegal.
Okay.
I have stood at the bank of both rivers. In fact, I crossed the one in Senegal. I walked through it. And you see, these rivers can be used for irrigation. All we need is technology. Can you see? Desalinating the river inside the one from the River Gambia, because most of them, the river, sometimes they come really from the sea into the. We can do so much with this thing.
Yeah.
Instead of Senegal alone can provide the grain need of the whole of West Africa, the whole. Forget about Mali and Burkina Faso, and then Niger is there. Instead of we sitting down to find solution to this problem, which technology, you see, technology is a competitive thing. Do you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize that Europeans only control us because of the technology they have that in West Africa we don't have?
Of course.
That is the only thing they have better than us. When they are farming, how do you go to a farm and see almost 25,000 sheep the same age?
This technology that they're using to do that.
It's technology. And we have university. In fact, I don't even need to talk too much. Someone looking at you alone, it's enough to show that we'll be making an effort. Because you didn't, your appearance as you look, as I saw you this morning, and I do see Frank, and the way you express yourself, the effort has been made, and you're just one out of millions of people we have educated. And what is the use of educating ourselves if education, which is the basis for us to take our life into our hands, our destiny into our hands, that we need to go, look at where Russia is, we are begging them. Begging them. Because the Europeans are well aware that, one, we have some racists among us. Every day they wake up, they want to kill the white man. You ask them, why do you hate this group? They say, because they enslave our ancestors. It means when those monsters get the nuclear facilities, they will kill the white man. Is that not true? Oh, they will wipe all of them out. You think they are stupid? They don't know what you have in your mind. When we go, we do our rasta, and we talk nonsense.
If you don't say that.
You don't give power to a fool. Power is meant for those with wisdom. You use power wisely. When a fool has power, he destroys everything. When the wise is having power, you understand? Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
When the wise have access to power, you understand? He uses to make people prosper, rich and beautiful.
Okay.
And power doesn't just come to you. You need to create it. And wisdom is what you need to create power. And here we are, using certain languages. Of course, I have a right to ask, why do we have to go and beg Russians for food?
Because you don't have food. You don't have technology. You don't have food. You are going to be hungry.
So
you have to go and beg.
The question is, why don't we have this technology? Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing.
We should ask ourselves, why don't you, are you saying everyone in West Africa is an idiot? Of course not.
Yeah.
We have medical doctors, we have engineers. At the time, I'm talking about 40 years, almost 30 years now when I finished my BSc, right? I was doing, they were professors over me. Highly reputed. And we have Department of Technology. I schooled in Nigeria, you know.
Yeah.
And Nigeria has got close to, in fact, apart from, they have close to 30 federal universities. Then each state has got their own university. So then you have the polytechnics. So then you have colleges, federal colleges, federal universities, two state universities, state college, federal college, state this, they have everything. Yet today everyone is talking about green energy, isn't it? And therefore green car that run not on petrol. Is that not true?
Yes, we have to run up quickly.
and instead of we talking about cars made, if we can't do it alone, one by one, why can't we do it together? The whole of ECOWAS. What in wisdom do we like? Actually, I don't sometimes understand.
Do you think that maybe we have to dissolve the ECOWAS, what they have at the moment? Let's dissolve it, because they are of no use. They are of no use.
You see, this is what it's like. We have a church, and the pastor is not doing well, and you are saying we should break down the church, dissolve it, break down the cathedral that our ancestors has put there. Why don't we turn it into flats?
Yeah, we can turn it into flats.
Can you see? But we didn't destroy the cathedral. We only modify it. Instead of going to church every Sunday, we make some small place for church, and then the bigger part we turn it into flat. It is in Bermondsey here. They don't destroy it. Why are you suggesting out of your own wisdom, where we say wisdoms are not the same? You are saying let us destroy. Do you know what it took for the ECOWAS to be built?
Yeah, if it's not fit for purpose, what do we use it for?
It's not fit for purpose because we are not thinking.
Okay, Kofi, we have to run up. Quick. Final words.
For purpose.
Yeah.
You see, one thing you need to know, I may not like probably what is done in the church. You understand? But wisdom or the mosque, but wisdom will give you the good thing in that church if you can look carefully.
Yeah.
Can you see? In everything you see bad, there is good. You just didn't look at it properly and you see it. And on this note, I'm leaving everyone. Let us stop this dismissive and then hopeless. That's giving up. Let us be part of the positive growth, and let us try to see the good in even the bad person is good. We just didn't look properly to see his goodness and how we can take advantage and make a great thing out of everyone. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourself. I'm sure tomorrow, until this battle is won, we shall not give up on ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul-Yakin. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thanks for that submission as well. Now, interestingly, Kofi will go on to let you know that if we vote for our representatives in the ECOWAS, definitely we can hold them accountable and they'll be able to sit up and do the right thing. What about that? Okay. Now we've got only 4 minutes to run up the program. Let me quickly bring you to the UK front and let's look at a couple of stories making their rounds here. Abuse, assaults, and big profits. Children's home staff speak out. What were they looking for? Now, children in care homes have reported being groomed and sexually assaulted in homes run by a firm making huge profits. Now, multiple employees of Carcourt Services for Children say vulnerable young people were failed. A news network has found that it made profit of 36% last year, double that of other big care providers. Now, figures already considered excessive by a watchdog. Now, Carcourt said profits were high because of built-up investment and its priorities, and it prioritizes safeguarding children. The company runs 8 homes for schools and supported living accommodation in southern England. It made profit of 42% in 2020 and 36% in 2021 using an industry standard measure. Now, this is more than double the average annual profit made by the biggest 15 providers of children services in Great Britain over the past 5 years, as highlighted in a recent report by the government competition watchdog. The study found that the profits of 17% were much higher than would be expected if the market was operating well. The sector is in crisis, says the providers group, the independent children's home associations, with increasing demand for schools, severe staff shortages, and ballooning costs. So they think that, well, the children are not being catered for properly. Well, and they're looking at the statistics, knowing that, well, on average, or the most profit that a company like that can make, having to look over children and blah blah blah, should end them at most 17%, but to get to 36% and the other time almost 50%, then that is a problem. Well, it is Starr Radio UK, and exactly gone just few seconds to 12:01, and this is where I bring the program to a close. Drivers pay £100 to fill tank for first time. Now, fuel prices continue to hit new records, increasing the pressure on household budget. Are you facing all this? My goodness. We'll be coming your way tomorrow with another edition of the morning show. Hopefully we should have our money man, Mr. Dantebre, also in the house to also teach you the way to go now. All right then. So on that note, let me say thank you to each and every one of you. As I announced earlier on, This afternoon or this evening at 6 o'clock, BB Clement will be coming your way with a repeat broadcast of what took place on BB Means Business last Tuesday. And then after that at 7 o'clock, we'll be having KB Botsman and Vicky Newton coming your way with the Property Hour show. They will be hosting the one and only Trevor Taki, and they will be looking at relocating to Ghana, finding properties to buy or rent. So join KB Botsman and Vicky Newton when they bring you that program this evening. Well, on that note, I will be bringing you the song that I brought you earlier on, and it's a cover version of Amachi Dede's song, Sufre Winyame. And I think if there's a need or a time that people have to call on their God, this is the time. But on that note, I say have a wonderful afternoon. It's with me, Archie, saying stay blessed. Bye-bye for now. See you tomorrow.
So be a Kenya, money,
This is Starr Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
Thanks for listening.
Turn it on. Turn it up. This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from Sendwave.